So, things that make endometriosis symptoms worse. Foods that can make endometriosis symptoms worse, okay? Number one, gluten. Number one, gluten. Gluten is the number one thing that will make your symptoms worse. Now, let's talk about this. We already talked about what endometriosis is, okay? One of the things that they found in research that you can improve your symptoms are reduction of inflammation in the body. One of the things that they found, one of the main things they found outside of hormones, it's directly related to endometriosis, is reduction of inflammation in the body. Gluten turns on inflammation. Gluten is very destructive to the body. Gluten makes the body create more inflammation. It turns on more of your C-reactive proteins. Gluten is extremely difficult for our bodies to digest, and it causes our body to be more of an inflammation state. So reducing gluten out the diet, going on a gluten-free diet, is extremely important for getting your symptoms of endometriosis under control. Second thing that's going to make your endometriosis even worse, the symptoms, the flare-up, is dairy. Once again, we talk about inflammation. They found that dairy causes more inflammation. The casein protein is very inflammatory to the body. It creates a tremendous amount of inflammation as your body is trying to digest it, and it allows the body to create a tremendous amount of mucus. And we already know mucus is a protective barrier for the body. So if the body is creating more mucus, that means it's protecting itself against something, okay? And the mucus clogs up the system, okay? So you want to release all that mucus, get rid of all that mucus, and you want to reduce inflammation. You have to, for number one, stay off of gluten. Number two is dairy. That means your milk, your cheeses, your yogurts, all these things. You even have to read the label to almost everything you eat, because gluten is found in so many different things, as well as dairy. Most of the time people say, oh, I don't drink milk. Yeah, okay, but you ate that cake, right, that had icing on there, okay? You like that chocolate, that milk chocolate, okay? You like these cakes. You like that bread. They have milk in there. You have to read the label. So milk, dairy is another thing. That's number two. Number three, red meat consumption. If you are a red meat eater, enjoy. You'll just be more and more in pain, okay? You have to reduce or eliminate red meat out the diet. If you're not going to eliminate it, get down to 1 time a week. Okay, 1 time a week. It will make a difference in your inflammation markers in your body. Reduce your red meat. And if you're going to eat it, get the best form of red meat. Since you're only eating it 1 time a week, invest in the grass-fed. Grass-fed does not have the same inflammation, does not create the same inflammation markers as the regular beef does or red meat does. Why is that? Because grass-fed, actually, the cows are eating grass, and grass is omega-3 rich. So the cow now is having more omega-3 in the body versus feeding it grains, that soybean and corn that's omega-6 rich, that causes more inflammation in the body, okay? Number 4, get off of all trans fats. We talked about that in the last video, about the negative effect of trans fats on your body. Get rid of trans fats. Trans fats cause inflammation. Trans fats are unnatural. Trans fats are very destructive for the cardiovascular system. Get off of trans fats. If it says hydrogenated on the label, don't touch it. If it says hydrogenated on the label, don't touch it. That means it's a trans fat. Trans fats are hydrogenated oil. They add hydrogens to polysaturated oils to make them saturated. That's not found in nature. Okay? So eliminate trans fats. Number 5, get off the Henny. Put your favorite vodka down. Okay? Get off the beer. Eliminate alcohol. Alcohol it has estrogenic effects to the body no matter what. So we already said endometriosis is affected by estrogen. Alcohols have estrogenic effects. Alcohol is also very inflammatory. Now I know somebody gonna say, "Oh, Abdul, I only drink red wine. I drink the white wine. You know, I drink Zinfandel or Brut or whatever else it is." It doesn't matter. Alcohol will cause you more inflammation. Okay? Alcohol will cause you more inflammation. Now, red wine is much better, but it's not going to improve your endometriosis symptoms. Okay? Because the polyphenols that's found in red wine, you could get from just eating the grapes. Okay? So, eliminate the alcohol. Number 6. This is going to kill a lot of people. Get off the caffeine. Oh! You know how many people need to drink a cup of coffee in the morning just to get up? Oh! They're going to... Oh, get off the caffeine. Caffeine causes more inflammation. Caffeine is going to cause more inflammation. If you eliminate the caffeine, and I know you already want to eliminate it, it's very difficult to because you're addicted to it. Eliminate the caffeine. The caffeine is causing you pain if you have endometriosis. Now, I know you like to go by Starbucks, have your frappuccinos, you know, go by Dunkin' Donuts, have your coffee, your black coffee with 2 sugars, light and sweet, you know, with your cream inside. You got to get off the coffee. I don't care if you only down to 1 cup a day. If you have endometriosis, it's going to make your symptoms worse. Now, if you cannot get off the coffee, at least 3 to 5 days before your menstruation comes on, your menses come on, get off the coffee. It will reduce your symptoms a lot. Okay? So, we talked about gluten, we talked about dairy, we talked about red meat, we talked about trans fats, we talked about alcohol, and we talked about caffeine. Those are the foods that will cause your pain to be worse.